Hello, welcome back. We are doing the question and answer sessions for 3 of the front-end related talks. So I've got Søren on stage, and if Jemima and Elad, if you could come and join me, that would be fantastic. Oh, I can't see Elad. I can see Jemima. No, don't worry. Oh, okay. We've got 2 of our 3 speakers.
You might be able to cover for Elad.
Yeah. Okay. We'll if he comes, we've got a question for him. I really enjoyed all the talks. They've all been fantastic. Really interesting. Obviously, you've had a lot of experience and really enjoyed working with the front end sort of frameworks. I have a bunch of questions, if you don't mind. So, Søren, we'll start with you. So the first question is the forms example available somewhere?
I can put it up. It's a little bit difficult after jQuery got nudged from forms because the new validation framework isn't global, so we need a little bit more to get it working. But I can post an example. So follow me on Twitter. I'll post it there.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And we'll go to Jemima. If you don't mind, I'll just go between the 2 of you. Do you want to hold on to that? Yeah. So the first question is, how do we measure accessibility? After you've done everything you've spoken about, you did touch on a couple of tools, but is there a gold standard, do you think? Or?
Yeah, that's the catch. There's no specific way to say, Lighthouse gives you a score, but like I said, it just gives you a score based on if you're using semantic elements or ARIA labels. But with regards to actually going through the website and saying, are all these things still, can I still navigate through my website using these different methods? Yeah, it's if you can do it, if you can go through your entire website without using a mouse or only using a screen reader, and I'd say, yeah, give yourself a gold star. You have an accessible website. But other than that, it's hard to say.
Thank you. Okay, back to Søren. So the next question is that they think it's great that that Alpine.js is a lot smaller than Vue, but are there missing features, or is there stuff that you really wish was in Alpine that is just not quite?
So you can't really use Alpine.js to do single-page apps. There is plugins to add routing and stuff like that, but it's not really what the framework is meant or the library is meant for. So yeah. I wouldn't do it, but for interactivity needs, it does pretty much anything Vue does. And I was a bit fast on the last slides, but there was an alternative called Petite Vue, which is Vue's take on how an Alpine.js could look like, but it seems a bit abandoned. And the author of Vue also mentioned Alpine when it first came out, that this was really interesting as a lightweight alternative.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to hold on to that. Okay, so for Jemima. So the question is about CSS. So you spoke obviously a lot about JS, which was really useful, yeah. But there's the question is about other examples for showing CSS on navigation or hover and stuff like that.
Are there examples on showing accessible CSS for navigation?
Yeah. I guess it's more accessibility for CSS, compared.
Yeah, fun fact, I do have another talk called "You Can't Spell Accessibility Without CSS." So you could probably check that out on my website. It's jemimabu.com/talks, and you'll see the link to the slides there. If I start talking about how to make navigation accessible with CSS, that's another talk. So yeah, it's probably easier if you just check it online.
Hello. Come on the stage. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
I don't know.
Yes, I've got one for Elad.
I think I was too tired today.
Oh no, it's all right. It's one of the mornings. It's a bit of a turnaround. Welcome back to the stage. Really enjoyed your talk as well. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
We just have one question for you, and it's what is more important, cats or CSS? Because you had a theme running through your talk.
What is more important?
Cats or CSS?
Both are important. Why it need to be or this or this? Why every time in life we need to choose? Why not to choose both of them? I'm a cat person, as you can see. Yes. I even had 2 cats in my life. Yeah, they're now gone, but they are living only 15 years. Yeah, I know.
But I really enjoyed your talk, and actually I had a question about, so I didn't realise that you could do the all selector and sort of pull so many different properties in at the same time. So that was today I learned. But is there cases when you think that's like too strong, like that does too many things, and you have to kind of rein it back? And then is there sort of a trade-off where it would have been easier just to go like out of the gate, kind of?
This is the specific thing when you want to reset everything. It's like you don't do it a lot, but there are cases that it's like think about, because the cascade, a lot of time you are writing the style for the website and you have a container, like what you see is what you get, you know those containers, but the problems that are styled can affect on those area of content. This way I can reset everything and create everything from scratch inside the container, what we see, what you get. This is a good use case. And not every time you want to reset with everything all unset. Sometimes you want to reset one property and you don't even want to think about inherit initial, just unset.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. If you want to pass
Yes.
I'll go to Søren again, if that's all right. So Søren, the question is, how do you handle client-side validation? Do you use iodine, write your own reusable component, or something else?
For client-side validation of forms or other input fields, we actually use the same library that is used in forms.
Right.
Actually, I did the pull request to make it actually work with forms. So, so it was a great moment when it got pulled into that too, because then we can consolidate things.
Yeah.
So,
Great. Awesome. And then back to you, Jemima. And actually, I think this might be the last question. And this is to do with any tips on not overdoing the accessibility, like whether or not there's a point where your site, I suppose, well, the question is, can it actually cause harm to have too many, I suppose, properties involved, or?
I'm sorry, the first thing that came to my mind was like, oh, I'm sorry, can my website be too useful? Yeah. I mean, okay, that's I've never actually gotten that question before. I think because usually people just err on the side of not doing enough accessibility. If you get to the point where you're doing too much accessibility, I would like you to talk to me because I'm very interested in how that could possibly happen, you know? But I genuinely cannot think of a situation where you'd just be doing too much, you know? I mean, if you are
Too
good
many
for
people
you,
can see the site.
like the horror, you know? Nah, I can't think of one, sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. And I think that might be all the questions from this morning. I don't think I've missed any. No, I got them all. Well, yeah. But that was really enjoyable. Thank you so much for...
thanks for coming.
Yeah.